Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra Kaye of the Demetra Kaye Show. And yes, I have taken over just for a little bit the African Diaspora News channel. 11 o'clock is usually my slot. So we're going to try something a little differently. I'm going to go live on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for just a half an hour. And I promise you, it's going to go by so fast. So while we're waiting for everybody, well, hopefully, to show up, we're going to just go over a couple of things that I like to do. First, I like to say, if you haven't already subscribed or even liked this video, please take the opportunity to do that right now. Also, you guys know that we have an app, the African Diaspora News channel app at africandiasporanews.org, africandiasporanews.org. So please invest in that, because we always talk about, everybody else's media, this, that, and the other. But see, we have one that we own, right? So go ahead and check that out when you get a chance. Now, I also like to say that I have a couple of rules. I'm going to take the first 10, 15 minutes or so to introduce our topic, and then I'm going to give y'all the last 15 minutes. Now, what I mean by that is I am going to read the comments. I do read the comments, and I see somebody on here already with the stuff. Now, I also want to say to the moderators, thank you for everything that you do and holding down the comment section. I know that is not easy to, participate yourself and then make sure everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing. But we could not do this without you. So thank you so much. Again, as we're waiting for people to show up, I know a lot of y'all have never seen me live before, and I often have people ask me what my background is. And listen, I sweat, y'all. So I've already started to sweat. But I often have people ask me what my background is, right? They're like, what is that? And it's Villa Lararo. It is Madam C.J. Walker's mansion, right? And the family still owns it to this day. But I like this backdrop, and I'll change it probably a couple times. But I like this one because it reminds me that no matter what we go through here as Black people in America, there's always a way to make it, because Madam C.J. Walker was the daughter of a slave, right? And she made something out of nothing. She was a washerwoman. Y'all know her story. And she was like, hey, there's got to be a better way. And she ended up with what they call a multi-level marketing company. And she was the first to do it. They don't give her credit for it, but she was the first to do it. So out of all the things that she had to overcome, she built a multi-million-dollar company. And I know the picture's kind of skewed because it's old, but those are people that are on her balcony. Those are people that she employed. A woman who was a daughter of a slave and a washerwoman, where she was, washing white folks' drawers. Okay, so anyway, let's get started. I think I've tap danced enough. Anyway, so who do we have on here? Loudy, how you doing? He says nobody voted for this clown. Well, somebody did, because she in office, right? Michael Brown, what's going on with you? A.N., I see you the one with the comment. Tread lightly. D-Mac, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started for the sake of time. So Governor Kathy Hochul of New York, right? She was invited to a church. And I'm going to put y'all her picture up. Then I'm going to show y'all the video of her actually saying it, right? Because y'all ain't got to believe me. Anyway, so on September 7, 2025, at a Sunday service at True Bethel Baptist Church in Buffalo, a predominantly Black church, Governor Kathy Hochul addressed the congregation. She spoke about the upcoming state inflation rebate or inflation refund check meant to offset the burden New Yorkers have faced because of inflation and higher sales tax. Now, I'm going to show y'all what she said in just a second, but it wasn't good. So also, the rebate check is a part of a one-time inflation check that's going to be given to New Yorkers. It is intended to return some of the extra money people have paid because of inflation, particularly via increased sales tax and general cost of living. Now, more than 8 million New Yorkers are expected to receive these checks. Now, they might receive up to $200 or $400, just depending on the household in size and all of that. Now, she has received some criticism, okay? Now, some argue, well, let me show y'all the video first, and then we'll get into what they're saying. So, y'all ready? Who else? Renz, how you doing? Beautiful Butterfly, what's going on? Voodoo, how you doing? Anyway, here we go.
cuts in Medicaid. People will lose their health care jobs, and I don't want to see that happen. So I'm putting more money back in people's pockets, the largest middle-class tax cut rate in 70 years, an inflation rebate, because you all paid so much in inflation. We collected more in sales tax. I said, that's not my money, that's their money. You people across the state of New York, checks are coming out soon. Watch the mail, okay? Okay? Don't spend it all one day. Get something you really need, okay? Don't stop by the liquor store, okay? Buy something for the kids. Buy them some food. Sometimes I have to stop by the liquor store too. I understand. It's all right. It's all right.
All right. Kathy Hochul, ladies and gentlemen, let me remove her. So again, as y'all heard, she was there at the church and telling them all about the rebate checks and all that. And she says, don't stop by the liquor store. And then, I don't know, it's kind of a mixed reaction in the audience there. And she says, oh, I have to stop by the liquor store sometimes too. And it's like, it sounds like you already did, if you ask me. But anyway, I digress. So there was a lot of people like, wait a minute now. Yeah, no, I don't think you should be doing that, because that comes off as anti-Black, right? Now, the person that she's running against, I guess because she's up for re-election, the lieutenant governor, rather, Antonio Delgado, he said such remarks show a pattern of racial insensitivity. Now, I would agree with him, because y'all might remember, I think it was last year or something like that. She said that Black children don't even know the word computer. Huh? Like what? You know, where are you at to where Black kids, and specifically the Black kids in the Bronx, they don't even know the word computer. So, you know, it's just one of many things that she said was kind of anti-Black. Now, the pastor at the church was like, well, you know, I don't see anything wrong. You know, she's just kind of telling us some things we already know. It's like, we already know not to stop by the liquor store and not to feed our kids. That's what she said, right? Oh, make sure you feed your kids. It's like, who ain't feeding their children? Now, I know we ain't talking about them people who ain't feeding their children, right? But you at church and you telling them, like, first of all, why are you telling them what to do with their rebate check? Because that's what they like to do. And I'm going to get to y'all comments. Remember, I said I'm going to give y'all the last 15 minutes. They like to tell us what to do with our money. Now, y'all know this conversation of reparation has been a thing since our ancestors left the plantation, right? And she's kind of one of them. She ain't talking about reparations. She's talking about like a study. You know, they always like to talk about a study. We're going to get a commission together so we could talk about the history of slavery and the effects on Black. Listen, a child knows the history of slavery, even at the basic level, right? There were Black people who were forced on a plantation to do things they didn't want to do, and horrible things happened to them, period, at the end. Even if you just know that, what do you need to study, right? So, of course, with these commissions that they like to come up with, and she's one of them, we're going to study, but they're going to spend all these millions of dollars to come up with a study instead of just divvying off the checks, right? Now, mind you, she ain't talking about giving no money. You know, she's talking about housing and this and that. And listen, you give us our checks, we can buy whatever house we want, right? So I say all that to say her standing up there, telling them what to do with their money. If they wanted to go buy the liquor store with their money, that's their business. Who are you to tell them not to do that, right? And then that pastor, whoever he is, he co-signing that, right? Because I guess he got to own it a little bit because he invited her in the church. But oftentimes, that's what they like to do. And y'all notice I ain't even saying nothing about her being a Democrat, which she is, because to me, they're both the same. Her saying that little stuff, oh, don't stop by the liquor store, that's something Trump will say. He a Republican, right? So they all think the same, especially when it comes to us. But I don't think anybody should make any apologies for her. You know, have you ever heard of the Freudian slip of the tongue? That's like, oops, did I say that? It's like, yeah, you said it because that's how you feel. That's how you think, right? And when you something slips, it's like, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say it here in the church. So you said that to a whole bunch of Black people. It's almost like, here, I'm going to give y'all some money, but you know, your grandmama used to give you money or whatever, $1 or something. Don't spend it all at once. Here, don't you make sure you don't need to tell us what to do with it, right? Again, if we want to go by that liquor store with all the money you gave us, and it's not something you really giving because it's extra money that people spent, we want to do that. Who are you to tell us not to? So anyway, I'm going to get into the comment section and see what y'all got to say, because that's the deal. I spend some time talking and then I talk to y'all. So let's see what y'all got. Let's see. Gmon, how you doing? Says, I sweat a lot too. It means you shower a lot. Yeah, I shower good too. My showers be like, they disrespectful. 15, 20 minutes. I don't know if that's disrespectful, but most people who know me be like, you getting out of the shower today? I'm like, I'm not done. But yeah, I'm not ashamed to say I sweat. I just do. Anyway, Michelle, how you doing? Good afternoon to you as well. You said she should be worried about her folks buying, you know what? Buying meth and fentanyl. They always worried about us. Very tacky. Yeah, they, but that's how they do. A lot of them feel like it's their job. I'm gonna tell Black Americans what they need to do. Y'all need to do this, that, and the other. And do we spend a little bit too much money on the liquor store? Yeah. I think we can all say that. But who told her we wanted her to tell us that, right? That's my criticism with, and I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want to say his name, but the guy that everybody's talking about now, people say to me, and even people who look like us, well, what did he say that was wrong? What was he saying that was wrong? It was like, who told him to say that to us? Why do they need to get on their little soapboxes anywhere and say anything to us? We didn't ask her or nobody that looked like her to say, well, Black people, y'all need to be doing this, that, and the other. Y'all, like you said, y'all got things y'all need to be worried about in your own community, right? Because if you worry about them things, a lot of stuff wouldn't be going on. We're going to leave it at that for now. Anyway, let's see. You also say there's no way I would have clapped. He says, I believe she's Jewish. I don't know if she is, but okay. Says the Jews in New York receive a lot of welfare. They are the original welfare recipients. Well, it wasn't necessarily that she was talking about welfare per se, is the rebate checks, right? I guess they spent too much, inflation, something or another. But yeah, she could have just said, listen, checks gonna be in the mail. So look out for the checks. You don't have to say nothing. Then she had to walk it back. Oh, sometimes I think about going to the liquor store too. See, she would have never had to say that if she didn't open her mouth, being disrespectful to, Black people. I'm just saying. Hey, David, how you doing? One Uncle Kel was going on, says they're not going to give anything. It's all smoke and mirrors. Well, it's supposed to be going out sometime in the near future. Whether they do or not, I don't know. But she was pretty confident in the pool pit talking about they finna get some checks and don't go by the liquor store. Like, have y'all seen the times that we living in? Would we really fault anybody for going to get them just a little drink? I ain't saying you got to get you a lot of drink, but if you do this your business, get you a little drink, right? Now, this is coming from somebody who really don't even drink like that. But yeah, D-Mac says even more so in Buffalo, those people are still grieving from the, come on now, mass shooting up there. Wow, he said they were mainly Black people who were shot and killed. They always doing some blatant backhanded disrespect. Yeah, they don't even talk about that anymore at all. But let something happen to other people, they keep talking about it. We just had 9/11, right? And there was a lot of people who look like us that rarely even get mentioned, by the way, that died in 9/11, but they're never going to forget that. But, 10 Black people in Buffalo lost their lives or was taken from them. And it's just kind of barely an honorable mention. So you're right. Voodoo, you said as soon as Rumpelstiltskin there, you lost Mayflower Master Class. What you know about Rumpelstiltskin? I like to use Rumpelstiltskin as an analogy because y'all know at the end he stomped a hole in the ground because he was so mad because the lady found out his name, right? And he was like, ah. So yeah, Rumpelstiltskin. David says, did she do? And I think your comment got cut off. Michelle says it was an insult to me. I would not have been clapping like a seal. Well, you know how some of us get, it's a good white lady in the pool pit, and yeah, that girl sure is good, ain't she? But I'm like you, I'd have been like, excuse me? I at least would have held up the Baptist finger like, no, I don't think so. You don't tell us, well, I barely even want to be in here giving tithes and offering, let alone you telling me how to spend the little money you supposed to be sending out, right? Let's see. D-Mac says she became governor off the heels of a scandal. New York City governor. Yep, Cuomo. We didn't vote for her. So absolutely, she's been there since 2021. I guess she's going to run again. I don't know people in New York, if y'all like her like that, but I don't know. I don't live there, so I can't really speak too much on her. Voodoo says she's going to take the building fund and give white people reparations one more again. That's funny. Renzi says the which secured $183 million in beneficiaries for the Jewish community with no whisper, word, or study about it. Yeah, I hadn't heard about that at all, but I would not be surprised. Let me skip down a little bit so I can catch up because I got 15 minutes, y'all. 15 minutes left. Lorenzo, how you doing? Says, hello, wake up, people. Let the truth be told and seen. I agree with you. Lamont, what's going on with you? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Solomon, how you doing? Says, we don't spend nowhere near what they spend on liquor, drugs, etc. I agree with you, right? Now, it is said that we spend a lot, but is it more than anybody else? I don't know. I haven't really seen the numbers. I've heard, haven't seen myself, but I'm not into telling people what to do with their money. If you want to go buy some yak, or a night train, Thunderbird, whatever it is you do, right? All English, you do that because it ain't my money, right? You ain't taking my money to do it. I don't care what you drink. I'm just saying. Renee, what's going on? It says, no, we can't all say that I don't drink. Yeah, I drink every once in a while, like every blue moon, but not really. Lexi, how you doing? Says, I keep looking at your hair. It's really nice. Did you use a sponge? No, I twist it up with my my hands. It's a whole process. One day, and maybe I'll make a video. But no, it's too long for a sponge. But thank you. I appreciate that. D-Max says, as far as giving out checks due to inflation and the cost of living is because of the average white American living off of credit and beyond their means, plus draining the resources of this country. And yeah, that's probably everybody right about now. But yeah, they don't like to talk about the money they owe. David, how you doing? Says these people are up to something per usual. They are really trying to raise a civil war against us. Hey, you know what? That's why we be quiet, okay? Because anything, especially that thing that happened recently, ain't got nothing to do with us. Nothing. We didn't do it. We weren't there. Had nothing with nothing. We're not really in any of those groups that they're in, right? There's some, and they need some knowledge of self. They ain't got nothing to do with us. That's why I said, you know, and I can't tell y'all what to do for me. I'm just not going to keep talking about it because he got a lot of people talking about him, and we need to spend time talking about us, okay? Because he is a distraction, has nothing to do with us. But yeah, they want to do, I guess, a civil war, but good luck. It seems like it would be with their own people, not us. Ace, how you doing? Says Kathy up to her dancing, or up to her tap dancing again, to say the least. Who else is on here? Okay, I'm at the bottom already. Okay, so Davey says try to reset us with COVID and all. So yeah, New York was kind of like the epicenter of that, right? The epicenter where a lot of people left up out of here when it first happened because a lot of people weren't really sure as to what to do. I mean, I remember seeing in New York, they had like the morgues, if you will, the refrigerators in like semi-tractor trailers and things like that. So yeah, that was crazy. I don't know about the reset with all of that. We're in for another reset that we've been told that was coming for a very long time, and we see it unfold right now. And we've been told, especially as Black Americans, get ready, right? But unfortunately, not y'all, I'm talking about them over there. We spend a lot of time, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, with sport and play. Being distracted by blogs and, you know, all this other stuff. And listen, I'm not shaming anybody. You do what you want, right? But we got to kind of even it out a little bit. If you want to do some sport and play, then plug in to see what we need to be doing, what's going on, because a lot of people don't even know what's going on. Have y'all been to the grocery store lately? Have y'all seen how prices have gone up? My daughter and I went to Walmart the other day, and we noticed there was a lot of empty shelves. And we're like, what is going on here? You know, and my daughter, as I said, she don't even like beans like that, right? Like we save them and stuff. She's like, hey, Mom, we need to get us some Navy beans. We need to be saving up because it was kind of freaky. Like, what's going on here? So there's resets coming, but we just got to pay attention. All this other stuff is a distraction. I promise you. I'm not saying it's not important sometimes. It's just not important all the time. So, yeah. Let's see. Michelle says, I bet she will not go to I don't know what Kathy doing, right? I don't know where she gonna go. Yeah, she probably won't talk to her own people like that. But the other thing is this, though, spaces, and say any and everything. because she knew she could say that, and the pastor or somebody was gonna say, "Oh, she didn't mean no harm. You know, Miss Ann didn't mean no harm. She knew what you do know. She's telling the truth, right?" It's like, even if she is, how dare her? Because, like you said, she ain't gonna go to her own people and talk like that. But you get up in front of Black people that, you know, they do that and they've done that. It's nothing new. But it's almost like they see Black Americans as little kids. You know, you talk to children like that. Don't spend it all in one place. That we're not children. Most of us are grown. I'd imagine the people that's getting the checks are grown. I don't know who is getting it exactly, but we grown. But they feel like, well, I'm going to go and just tell them what they ain't doing and what they need to do. That's disrespectful. But see, she felt like she could do that because, I don't know, it sounds like she knows the pastor very well. And there he is, tap dancing for her. Don't y'all leave Miss Ann alone. She didn't mean nothing by it. My question is, how many people going to be back up in that church after she got herself up in the pulpit and told them don't stop by the liquor store? That's the real question. You know, she is who she is. She's doing what she does naturally. But are you going to show up after the pastor co-signed her disrespecting y'all? That's the question I have. I know that I wouldn't have been in there another Sunday. That's just me, though. Let's see. David says, New York is full of foreigners. To be honest, they definitely vote in the interest of their own. You supposed to, right? We're all supposed to vote in our own interests. Dr. Claude Anderson told us what? We're the only group of people that vote as a block for our oppression. We're starting to wake up a little bit now, right? But everybody else is like, nah, we voting for us. But what we do? We vote for everybody else. If you think I'm lying, look at the last administration. They let all those immigrants in. And guess how they got in there? Y'all heard Joe Biden stand up there. Two Black Americans, I would not be here without you. During the night he got elected, he said that the Black Americans. So what he was really saying is, thank y'all for helping me help everybody else get what they want, and y'all get nothing. And we saw that the whole administration. So yeah, we need to start voting for us. Education is key. How you doing? Says rebate check's gonna be $50. Well, dang, it's $50 more than you had, right? Yeah, David Yak. You know what the yak is? I don't even drink. Volvo, what's going on with you? Big is I'm just say big because your name, I don't want to mess it up. How you doing? Hope you're well. YOLO, how you doing? Say, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Y'all making me feel good. Y'all know I'm up there in age, right? I want to say I'm up there in age. I'm 54. Sometimes I feel like I'm 94, but I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Anthony, how you doing? Says everyone should look into CIPS, the alternative payment system to chips. We need to start doing business using currency other than the dollar in our communities. Yeah. Well, every time we talk like that, somebody come up missing. Y'all heard about Muammar Gaddafi when he was talking about, hey, let's get away from the dollar. Well, Obama and them, they roped up a good old campaign on him, right? So, I mean, I'm with it. We just need to make it happen, right? But with the money we got now, we need to make sure we're doing something that's going to help our community. That's all I'm saying. But I dig it. Juggernaut, what's going on with you? D-Mac says they still consider us their property. Exactly. You're right. They do. They've never unlearned that. They just can't do it legally unless you're in prison or, parole or something like that. Christian, how you doing? Says the jackleg pastor going to cover up for her. Yeah, because she's probably like, put that in the plate. Because, ain't no separation of church and state now, right? So they can bring all kind of political figures up in the pulpit and say whatever. And I'm sure she's like, don't spend that all in one place, pastor. Don't go to the liquor store. I bet you she'd tell him that, even though he probably did. Let me shut up if I get in trouble. Tawanta, how you doing? Says Kathy Hochul. You better stop calling that lady names. Says will not be getting my vote. I can dig it though. Who else? Okay, let's see. I got about 5 more minutes, y'all. Like I really got to stay on my show. We talk for about an hour, but here about a half an hour because we got other people coming up behind me, so I can't be too greedy. Who else haven't I seen? Extreme, how you doing? Says Kathy also said black youth don't know what a computer is. She sure did. Like, what black youth you talking about? And why would you say that? Like, most kids have to learn at school on a computer. Like, why would you say that? Like, what? No white kids know what a computer is. Hispanic, just black kids. Like, ugh. And listen, I used to be a Democrat. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to kick it, right? I used to be a Democrat most of my life. But then I woke up, right? But I'm just going to say, for us as black people, we hear how they talk about us, whether they the Republicans or they the Democrats. Why do we keep on signing up to vote for them? Right? Why not look at somebody who is going to not just say, but do the things we want them to do? I mean, Kathy Hochul sounds like she has told us one too many times how she feels about us. You know, at this point, we can't even keep saying it's a Freudian slips. That's a oops. I didn't mean it, because you keep saying greasy stuff about black people. So I'm confused as to why black people vote for people like that. I'd rather vote for a pet rock before I vote for somebody who keeps telling us how she feels about us. The liquor store, all the places that we gonna go with that money, and the liquor store is what came out of your mind. Okay, it's very concerning. D-Max says, I'm sorry, but these black churches have no influence on it says on us. I think you mean to say any good in building our unity or communities. So what purpose do they serve? I can speak and pray to God on my own. Well, I don't go to church, and I've always been transparent about that. I've gone to church, right? But I've stopped going. I don't necessarily discourage going to church. I think churches are important in a lot of ways, right? And all churches aren't operating with chicanery and the foolishness and stuff. So I think they're important. It just depends on who's in the pulpit, right? Because there's a lot of churches that they with the foolishness. They are. So they should be serving as a pillar in the community like they used to do, right? Nowadays, you got to talk to the man next to the man next to the man next to the man to even talk to the pastor. You go to a secretary, oh, he's busy. Can I help you? He's like, no, I want to talk to Pastor so-and-so like we used to do. These Pastor so-and-so used to have a parsonage next door to the church because they live next to the church because they like, I'm here to serve the people. Somebody might need me. They can knock on my door and I'm here. Nowadays, they live an hour away from the church in some gated community that you can't go into. But he's taking your tithes and offering, but I'm going to shut up because I'm getting in trouble. Trenton Makes, how you doing? Says, this is the same woman who said black kids in the Bronx don't know what a computer is a few years ago. Vote blue, though. Yep, you're right. All right, so I got 3 minutes. I'm just going to acknowledge everybody because I think you should be, since you showed up. Span, how you doing? What you think I am? Well, I'm going to say this, okay? Today, y'all like me. Tomorrow, I hope you like me. But sometimes I say things and you're like, huh? And I don't mean any harm or disrespect. Because I think a lot of things, right? But I appreciate that compliment. Thank you so much. Black Aviator, how you doing? It says, because she's stupid. And when you say she, I hope you're talking about Kathy. I'm Hochul. Juggernaut says, Kathy always sounded like an undercover Republican. They all are. All of them are. Y'all heard that analogy? Two wings of the same bird. That bird don't fly with one wing. It needs two wings, right? And that means they got to be flying in tandem. They got to be going where we going. We going south, we going north, right? They all the same. They just got different names, right? And we're learning that. But before, like I said, when I was Team Democrat, I was Team Democrat. I told you I ain't gonna lie to kicking. When Obama got elected the first time, I fell on my knees. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And then when he left out of there the second time and kicked Black Americans in the tailbone, I was like, that's what I get. Wisdom, how you doing? It says it's knowing the game, knowing the laws, knowing the tech. Look how the Asians be doing. They learn the game. FBAs learn the game. Why races are so afraid. Knowledge is power. Yep. You ain't lying. See, we got to know who we are, right? If we say we are God's chosen people and we not walking in that, then that's our fault. We need to get some knowledge of self. See, them Asians, they got knowledge of self. They're like, yeah, we vote, but at the end of the day, we got our money working like a well-oiled machine. We gonna get the money from the government, but if we never got a dime for the government, we got our own money, right? Like us. They said $2 trillion by the end of this year that the Black community sees, and we give 97% of that away. Whose fault is that? They said if we were just to keep 10% We could build businesses. We could hire our own people. We could stave off gentrifications, a whole lot of things we can do with just 10%. Why can't we get to 10% in our community? That's the question we need to ask ourselves, right? Because that's what the Asians do. They don't have to wake up and be told, shop with another Japanese person today or Korean today. It's just something they do. Us, shop Black. We should be doing that anyway, regardless. Ernest, how you doing? Good morning to you. So let's see. I think I've said hello to everybody. Listen, I'm gonna get out of here because that's my time. Oh, FBA Sage, I didn't say hello to you. And Albie Chill, did I say hi? If not, hi. FBA Sage says she's the governor of my state and she's not getting my vote. Well, you know, I don't blame you, right? Because she ain't got no respect for Black people. Hopefully I said hello to everybody. If I did not, I will be back here tomorrow, same time, same channel, 11 a.m. Central Time. It has been my pleasure. And I will see y'all then. In the meantime, make sure y'all subscribe, like, and all that. The app, AfricanDiasporaNews.org. In the meantime, I'll see y'all later. Peace.